Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today, we've got a conversation for you.
Yeah, and we're throwing it back to our intervention series. Previously, we've talked about BMW and Mitsubishi, but this time, it's time to target another Japanese automaker, unfortunately.
We're talking about Nissan.
We sure are.
No jackets to throw on the ground this time, but a lot of models to throw on the ground instead.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, Nissan does have a pretty interesting past with past future models, including the GTR. But we are seeing lots of issues nowadays.
Lots of issues, and primary issue right now, for me at least, is stale product, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about this a little bit during our Groundhog Day cars with the GTR, since it has been largely unchanged for about a dozen years at this point. But it's not alone, right? So you've also got the Maxima, which has largely been unchanged. It finally just got killed off, right? What else? So the Armada, has been around for a long time based on that Nissan Patrol platform. And these are segments, at least with the Armada, that they should be making money hand over fist in. They really should be. Oh,
without a doubt. I mean, especially in the North American market, SUVs sell, right? Especially big ones. And, you know, General Motors definitely has a pretty tight stranglehold on the full-size market. But, you know, Toyota is not really killing it. Nissan has a place where they can come in and say, hey, we have a really different option for you that's technologically advanced, that's performance-wise, it's superior something.
And Acura and Honda don't even participate in that market. So there's just a huge opportunity for Nissan to go in there with their history of making, the Armada and Pathfinder Armada previously, to make a big killing.
Yeah, I mean, and the Patrol itself has a huge market overseas. It's well known for its abilities. So the fact that they're just letting it languish here is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, we have the GTR, as you said previously, really old. The most
really old.
It's just really old. It really is. So going back to the truck market too. So we got the Nissan Titan, which they are killing off this year.
Yes,
right.
Titan's dead.
But how long has that lasted on the vine? Not doing well. I mean, we've invested no money in it. So I guess it's a wise decision to kill it off at this point. But again, we're seeing a market where there is potential. There's tons of sales in North America for them. So you do have a more successful product in the Frontier, but that itself is just a refreshed old platform, just reskinning of various appearance packages, but
just got a special edition, right?
Does have a special edition Fosenberg version, but yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah, I mean, again, it's older platform that came to the United States a little bit later. Shared with the Mercedes X-Class. Good little truck, honestly. I mean, it's competitive and it's set, but it's just dated to the competition again, and that's just a struggle for Nissan right now.
Yeah, I mean that is a pretty competitive segment when you think about it. The GM Twins themselves, award-winning vehicles. The Tacoma, I mean,
it's brand new.
Yeah, that's hard to go.
Ford Ranger still doing well despite being old.
Yeah. So have some room for improvement, certainly in the mid-size market. Speaking of vehicles that have some room for improvement, our dear friend, the Nissan Z. Sales are tepid.
Yes, tepid at best.
Yeah.
So
where do we begin?
we pulled up sales numbers from, July 22 to October 23, and it was about 1,500 cars. And, Jordan found that's about 100 a month over that same period, and that is just not good.
No.
I mean, pales in comparison to the Toyota Supra, pales in performance to the Toyota Supra, and this is a car that was developed after the Toyota Supra came out. So I mean, Nissan knew exactly what the bar was, and they just missed it. Yeah,
I mean, I think a big point with what they were trying to do is, hey, like, we have a pretty powerful engine. It's well known, has a huge aftermarket, so no need to tinker with it too much. What we need to do is just update the styling a little bit, because the interior is largely the same, but let's update it in a way where we're tackling two completely different models on one vehicle. Yes. And I just don't think that was successful.
No. And, I mean, because who are you really going to drive to? Is it going to be someone who wants to like the Z32, the old, late 80s, early 90s, 300ZX, or someone who wants an early Z, which is kind of what the front resembles?
Exactly. And that jawline, I can't. It's just really horrifying, to be honest with you. I might be in a minority there, but I just don't think it's attractive. So I think that Nissan has shown in the past that it can certainly engineer a successful sports car when they want to. But this Z just feels super lazy. It's a very lazy attempt at refreshing a legendary vehicle.
Yeah, and the biggest issue with the chassis was it's heavy. This was something that kind of plagued the earlier Zs as well. So they just kind of did the old American thing and just added more horsepower to kind of overcome it, which made it still a compelling package. Yeah. But now you've got the Supra and Z4, which ride on an all-new chassis, which saved a lot of weight, and they still make great power out of that B58. Yep. It just makes it less competitive because it doesn't feel as nimble, doesn't feel as tossable. Yeah. Some of that has been corrected with the Nismo version, but still, that makes it far more expensive because I think the Nismo starts at like $65.
Yeah, they're really pricey.
Yeah, very, very pricey, and automatic only.
Yeah, and apparently there's markups on those too. Yeah, on the Nismo version. So good luck getting them for $60.
Right. I'm
not sure that's going to happen, which is bizarre to me. But anyway, so just wish it could have done better. Wish it better for the Z. So who knows? Maybe they'll invest some money into that product. But when you're talking about 100 sales a month,
know you're not going to invest any money in that product. Yeah. The only thing you're going to do is kill it off, which is unfortunate to see the Z, such a storied nameplate, likely end up going out with a whimper. Yeah.
It's all electric future. Here comes the Aria.
Yes.
Which actually might be Nissan's best product right now.
I think it actually is. I mean, the Aria is by far their best product, and it's an EV, and it's a well-executed EV. So, I mean, credit where credit's due. It's a good platform, good chassis, reasonable price, reasonable range. So, I mean, it's a compelling EV product. I mean, much better than their earlier offerings with the Leaf.
Yeah, well, that's certainly true. And the Leaf is still around, as old as it may be. Supposed to be getting a new version coming up soon, the next couple of years here. But that, too, is pretty much a non-thought when it comes to the EV market. But I'll tell you what's not a non-thought when it comes to Nissan. The Altima.
The Altima. It's not that big of a car.
No.
But it does have a certain energy about it.
It does have a big energy about it. It kind of is a flag bearer, I think, for the Nissan brand, and a lot of automotive enthusiasts kind of look to the Altima to see what to expect for Nissan.
Yes,
right.
Flying past people in the left-hand lane with the blinker on and the bumper falling off. That is really synonymous with Altima.
Yeah, they all seem to encapsulate that same type of energy, right?
They do.
The Versa kind of like that mini bay attitude.
The mini bay.
You got the Pathfinder, which is like the 3-row soccer mom bay, right?
The Rogue, which is the Taltima.
The Taltima. There you go. Exactly. But I think a lot of it also speaks to the dealership network, and they're looking for ways to get rid of these ancient vehicles, so they need to finance these at an affordable rate. And who's going to be able to purchase those? But folks who might be struggling to get into a car that might be a more reliable pick,
right,
or might be a better pick overall. And so it's tough for Nissan's branding when that's the type of energy that's associated with your brand. Right?
It's hard. I mean, you got to give Nissan credit for that because it's nothing they created themselves, but just kind of through the natural course of things, they've kind of become like the Japanese Dodge.
Ouch.
Like credit challenge customers and trying to shuffle those folks in and out of cars and high APRs and things like that, which is just kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, and because of that, they're not really willing to invest a ton in these products, which you can see it, and because of that, we can see the Altima's dying off too.
Yeah, Altima's dying off too,
which is wild.
It's sad, I mean, again, we like sedans, and so many automakers right now are just nixing them left and right.
Yeah, I mean, so credit to Nissan for having a full fleshed out sedan lineup, because
they do.
I mean, they really have it all covered.
Yes, because I mean, you can get the Versa as a sedan.
Yep.
You can get the Sentra as a sedan. The Altima is a sedan.
And Maxima.
The Maxima is a sedan.
You got them all.
Yeah, small to large.
All flavors of bay.
Yep, all flavors of bay. Bays of different size.
There you go. Long story short with Nissan, we know what you're capable of. Let's see more of it in the future.
Exactly. And maybe that'll stop some of their seesawing sales. From 21, they sold 900,000 cars. 22, they sold 600,000 cars. Yeah. In 23, they're back up to over 800,000 cars. So seesawing sales, some of that probably had to do with some of the microchip issues and things of that nature in supply chain. But still, that's a massive dip.
Yeah. I think a more consistent product line would be beneficial, and maybe getting rid of just the straight to fleet sales, because anytime you rent a car, it's probably going to be a Nissan.
It's going to be a Nissan, yes. in your Emerald aisle, which are you going to get? The small bay, medium bay, or large bay?
That's right. So that concludes our torturous intervention of Nissan. Hopefully we see better from you in the future.
Yep, we're looking forward to it. So thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.